For the first time in recorded galactic history, a human vessel entered the orbit of Zarin Prime. The ship, designated HCC Independence, moved silently above the planet's glowing surface. Zarin Prime was not just another world. It was the political and military heart of the Velther Dominion, a species that ruled dozens of star systems through fear, intelligence, and overwhelming force. To the Velther, humans were insignificant. A young species. Short-lived. Emotion-driven. Barely holding their own planet together. Inside the Velther High Council, towering alien figures observed the human ship with visible amusement. So, one counselor hissed, "This is the species that calls itself explorers?" Laughter echoed through the chamber. Moments later, a transmission arrived from the human vessel. "This is Commander Adam Reyes of the United Human Coalition," the calm voice said. "We come in peace. But peace should never be confused with weakness." The council dismissed the message instantly. To them, humans were a curiosity, nothing more than a live test subject. Without warning, the Velther authorized a low-yield energy strike, intentionally weak. Not an act of war, just a demonstration of dominance. Blue plasma surged toward the human ship. The council expected panic. They expected retreat. Instead, something unexpected happened. The human ship didn't fire back. It didn't flee. Its outer hull shifted, panels reconfigured, energy signatures changed, and within seconds, the incoming attack dissolved harmlessly against an adaptive defensive field. The council chamber fell silent. On board the HCC Independence, Commander Reyes lowered his hand from the control panel. "No retaliation," he ordered. "Not yet." His crew exchanged tense glances. "They wanted to see how fragile we are," Reyes continued. "So we showed them something else." Another transmission was sent, short, precise. "We understood your message," Reyes said. "Now understand ours. Humanity does not seek conflict. But if forced, we finish what others start." For the first time in centuries, the Velther Dominion hesitated. They had faced ancient machines. They had crushed biological war species. They had destroyed entire civilizations. But humans were different. They didn't roar. They didn't threaten. They adapted. And somewhere deep within the Velther archives, a new classification was quietly added. Humans. Unpredictable. Potentially catastrophic. The test of power. The Velther Dominion did not rule the galaxy by hesitation. Within minutes of the failed energy strike, long-range sensors across Zarin Prime detected movement. Massive war platforms began activating, their ancient reactors humming with lethal intent. The Velther High Council had reached a decision. If humans believe defense alone makes them equals, the Supreme Strategist declared, "We will educate them." A battle fleet emerged from hyperspace. 30 Velther cruisers, each capable of erasing a city from orbit. To the Dominion, this was still not a war. It was a lesson. On board the HCC Independence, alarms remained silent. The human crew watched the incoming fleet with disciplined calm. Commander Adam Reyes studied the tactical display. "They're escalating without declaring war," his tactical officer said. "They expect us to break." Reyes nodded. "Then we don't break." The human ship transmitted one final warning. "Velther Dominion," Reyes said, his voice steady. "Any hostile maneuver beyond this point will be considered an act of war." The Velther response was immediate. Their lead cruiser fired. This time, the attack was no demonstration. A concentrated beam of annihilation energy ripped through space, enough to shatter moons. And for one terrifying second, the Velther believed they had won. The annihilation beam struck. Space itself seemed to tear apart as unimaginable energy slammed into the position where the HCC Independence had been hovering moments before. Velther sensors flared white. Cheers erupted inside the High Council chamber. "Confirmed destruction," a tactical observer announced. "The human vessel has been erased." But then something didn't add up. The sensor reading stabilized, and the data refused to confirm a kill. "No debris," another voice whispered. "No radiation bloom." Confusion spread. Then the human The galaxy remembers humanity. Silence consumed the battlefield. Where 30 Velther cruisers once dominated space, only drifting wreckage remained, twisted metal, fading energy signatures, and stunned sensor readings. The HCC, Independence, hovered at the center of it all, untouched. Inside the Velther High Council chamber, panic replaced arrogance. "This is impossible," a counselor whispered. They were supposed to be primitive. Commander Adam Reyes opened a wideband transmission, his image appearing across every surviving Velther screen. "We warned you," he said calmly. "You chose to test us." Behind him, human tactical displays showed something the Velther had never encountered before: controlled restraint. "We could have ended your dominion today," Reyes continued. "Our weapons are designed not just to destroy but to disable, to adapt, to end wars before they begin." The Velther Supreme strategist lowered his head for the first time in recorded history. "You hid your power," the strategist said. "Why?" Reyes didn't hesitate. "Because power without control destroys everything," he replied. "And humanity learned that lesson the hard way, on our own world." The battlefield scanners confirmed it. Human weapons had selectively crippled propulsion systems, command cores, and weapon arrays, leaving most Velther crews alive, drifting helplessly in space. No genocide. No conquest. Only dominance through precision. "We are not conquerors," Reyes said. "But make no mistake, we are not prey." The Velther Dominion formally surrendered all hostile claims against human space. Within days, the event spread across the galaxy. Ancient civilizations updated their archives. Warlords canceled expansion plans. Observers rewrote first contact protocols. A new universal warning circulated among the stars. Do not provoke humanity. They do not fight for glory. They fight to finish. As the HCC, Independence, turned away from Zarin Prime and entered hyperspace, Reyes looked out at the stars. "Log this," he said quietly. "Humanity didn't rise today." His crew listened. "We were always here," Reyes finished. "The galaxy just finally noticed." And from that day forward, whenever a species underestimated humans, the galaxy had a name for the mistake they were about to make. An HFY moment.